What is up, everybody? It's Jamey. Welcome back to the channel. I've got another exciting video for you today because it is another iPhone unboxing. Today we're going to be unboxing each of the colors of the iPhone 13. I'm excited about this unboxing because traditionally the non-Pro models have some really fun and unique colors. With the Pro models, they just have that one special color, and then we typically know what we're going to get with the gold, silver, and space gray or midnight, whatever they want to call it. So I do think that the non-Pro model, it was same with the 12, similar with the iPhone 13. It's a really good option for a lot of people that are out there. Realistically, I don't take full advantage of all the features of the camera and whatnot that are in the Pro model. So I think that the non-Pro 13 as well as the 12 is a really good overall value when you look at across the different lineup. Last year I really loved that mint green as well as the white in the iPhone 12. So I'm excited to take a look at the iPhone 13 colors, unbox each of these today so we can take a look, see which color we think is the best option for this year. When you're watching today's video, if you could give the like button a quick tap-tap-a-roo. Also, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new content coming up. So as I mentioned, I ordered each of the different colors because I like taking a look at them in person. And I'll be honest, I live out in California, so from a pre-order perspective, it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning. So you set your alarm for 4:45. I didn't really research a whole lot about the different colors. So we have it's Starlight. We then have midnight, pink, just blue, and then the red color. So to start, we're going to take a look at Starlight. Starlight just seems like a very fancy name for white, but let's see what this one looks like. So similar to the packaging that Apple's going with across the board with their iPhones, minimal packaging. You can tell it's now in that smaller box, and there really is not much of anything in here any longer. So outside of the phone itself, you're just going to have your power cord, and you get a sticker as well as the pin for pushing out for the SIM card. So very, very minimal these days. So taking a look at the phone itself, Starlight just looks like a very clean white color. They've continued on the sides with more of that brushed look. Some people say that it looks cheap, like a cheap plastic. I don't believe so. To me, I think it actually looks really, really nice. Personally, I think that it would be awesome if in the Pro model they offered some sort of a brushed stainless steel option. I think that'd be a really cool look and help hide some of those scratches. The thing I really like about a white iPhone is just, and this has been in the iPhone 12, this current iPhone, any other iPhone realistically, is that it's such a clean look, so it's going to go with anything. But then also, when you have this high gloss black or high gloss back, it's going to be very resistant to fingerprints. So last year, and I'm assuming it's probably going to be this year, so the black last year, which is probably now midnight this year, it's just a fingerprint magnet. So yeah, if you have a case on, whatever, you're not going to see it all that much. But I like how the lighter colors, like the white, the mint last year, it really hid those fingerprints a lot. And so just clean design, goes with anything, minimal fingerprints. It's you can't miss with the white iPhone. So moving on, the exact opposite, we have midnight. It seems like across the board, Apple has decided to, instead of calling silicone case or leather case, they're no longer black, they're midnight. So it looks like they're doing the same thing with the phone as well. I think it's just like Starlight. Starlight's a fancier name for white. Midnight's a cooler, fancier name. So the thing that's really nice on the black phone, I think it's the same this year as it was last year, is just, so they go with the matte black on the sides, and then you have the gloss black on the back. And honestly, this look is awesome. This is super stealthy. It's super clean. The black, when you go with a darker color, the camera lenses on the back, they fade in a little bit better. It's super sleek. My only issue is that it does show fingerprints, and I don't know why it's not showing fingerprints that bad right now, which is I don't know if they have some sort of coating or is this something different, but I'm not seeing any fingerprints right now. You can see a lot of dust and it shows up more obviously on a darker phone, but right now the fingerprints aren't showing, which is interesting. I mean, if they put some sort of coating or something on these phones to resist smudging and fingerprints, that could be a game changer. That could open up the black for me now, because previously the only reason why I would stay away from it is just because the fingerprints would drive me crazy. So that potentially could be a game changer. Even if I put this, like, you know, if you angle it in a light a certain way, it still doesn't show any fingerprints. That is very awesome. If that's, I'll have to do a little research on it, but I'm not sure if they did some sort of new coating on these phones to resist fingerprints, that could be huge. So love the black, hated the fingerprints, not showing fingerprints right now. That could be like a front runner just because of that right now. So moving on, next up we have is just pink. So they have in the silicone case, they have a case color called chalk pink that kind of looks like this. I don't know if this pink is a little bit more of a pinkish hue than the chalk pink case, because that was very, very faint. This seems a little bit more pink than chalk pink. Chalk pink was like very, very faint pink. This seems much more pink than I remember the chalk pink case to be. And they're doing like similar with the black, they're coordinating the sides with the color, so it's just that matte muted color of the phone itself. And similar with the black, like not seeing any fingerprints. You know, the thing that's interesting about like the non-pro models is they get a little bit more playful with the colors, and I do understand like maybe you want to go more sophistication with the pro models, but I do wish that they could take some design cues that they take from just the non-pro models and bring them to the pro. Like, I'd like to have some more unique, interesting, fun takes on just your normal like colors. Like, we get one special color every year. The past 2 years they've been variations of blue. Before that it was like a green blue and the midnight green. Like, let's take some of the fun from the non-pro and bring it into the pro, because I think a lot of people would like that. Personally, I would like to see some more creativity. I find that in the non-pro there's just more creative options, more fun options. Would I normally go with a pink phone? No, but there's some people out there that really want a pink phone, and you can get it in the iPhone 13 this year. Moving on, we have the blue color. Last year they had, for the iPhone 12, they had a blue. I wasn't too hot on it. It was more like it wasn't the blue tone that I would have hoped. It was kind of like a darker, I wouldn't call it a navy. It was like a weird blue. This blue is kind of similar to that blue in the sense that it's not the kind of blue that I would necessarily want on my phone. I think that I do like this better than the blue of last year. This is like kind of like your like a true like just royal blue, and if you're like a blue fan, maybe this would be the perfect color for you. I like more of like the pastel-y kind of color blue, sky blue, Carolina blue. I think those are a little bit cooler, but there's nothing wrong with this blue. I'm just not like a huge blue person. So if there is a blue, I could go in that kind of color. Like, I like the Sierra blue this year. I didn't prefer the Pacific blue last year. This I'm fine with. I'm fine with this. The thing that I'm more amazed about just across the board, and I keep trying to test it out, is that they're not showing up fingerprints. And maybe I missed some sort of coating or something that they changed on the iPhone 13, but that across the board, that is a huge game changer, because when you take any material that is this gloss, it's a fingerprint magnet. So I don't know what they've done here, but as of right now, I am not seeing any fingerprints. The blue is nice. It's not my cup of tea, but I think a lot of people will like this blue. So the last color we're going to be taking a look at today is the product red, or the red iPhone 13. Last year I didn't get the iPhone 12 in the red color. I typically I like red. Oh shit. This thing is crazy. Okay, I'm not like a big red person, but wow. Apple does, their red is on point, and this looks awesome. I don't know if I could, if this was my only phone, I don't know if I would get bored of just a deep dark red color every day, but man, this looks awesome. It's been a while since I've had the product red phone like in my hands. Seeing this in person, this thing pops, especially like when you look at the front and you just see the black of the screen up against like the matte red on the sides. This is surprising. I didn't think that I would like the red as much as I do. Wow. Like my normal go-to, if I was to, go with iPhone 13, I'd probably go like one of your standard colors. I go with white or black. But I think it's always fun to try something new, especially if you upgrade your phone often, to try to go a little bit outside your comfort zone, to try something different, because otherwise if you're getting the same colored phone year over year, then it almost just, even though there's new features, they start to blend to one another. So I try out different colors because it allows me to feel like I'm getting a new phone. And I don't know, this red is very, very tempting. The one thing that I would say in looking at just the non-pro models is that I kind of mixed on the silver Apple logo on the back. I kind of think it would be cool if they went tone on tone and they just brought in like the matte color from the sides and like in the camera area and just did that for the Apple logo. Like I like that more muted look, and I don't know if it's monochromatic or what you would call it, but some people don't like that. Some people want to see the Apple logo. I think it looks a little bit cool, a little bit more subtle if it was just make it a little bit different by having a different finish in the matte color, but having it in the same color as the phone itself. I think it would give a little bit more of like a high-end feel. Like when I see the shiny Apple logo, it gives me a little bit, it kind of lets me know that this isn't the highest end model. It has more of a, not tacky, not cheap, but just a more playful feel to it. Alright guys, so here you can see each of the iPhone 13 colors lined up. You have Starlight, or white, Midnight, or black, pink, blue, and the product red case. So right off the bat, one of the things that I find interesting is when you put the white and the pink together, or somewhat close to one another, that's when you start seeing the pinkish color come through on the pink, but it's a very, very faint pink. It's similar to the mint green color last year where it was almost white, but just with a hint. So I think that creates like a different level of like coolness and uniqueness. Pink may not be your thing, but if you kind of step out of the white a little bit, you can have a lot of the properties of the white, but just a little touch of just a different hue. I know it might be difficult for some people to go with pink, but I think it's like an interesting color. Traditionally, I would go with like the white color here. I am, and I don't know if you guys can see this, I am very surprised by the fact that like outside of the Apple logo, I am not seeing much in terms of fingerprints. So looking at it a little bit further, you can see like there is some smudging that's happening on the black when I rub my fingers on it, but it's definitely not as bad as I remember from last year. And traditionally, I would go with, probably I'd play it safe. I'd go with the white color, but I am somewhat intrigued with this product red color. It's such like a I don't know, deep like blood red. And it might just be because I really haven't seen the red phone in a while, and I'm just attracted to it because it's just something different. But I think it's pretty cool. Like, granted, it would probably be a little difficult to get cases to match with it, but I think it's just unique. You don't see it very often, and so I don't know. I think this might be like my personal front runner out of all the cases. Like the black and the white, like they're just easy. The blue, it doesn't really do anything for me this year. The pink, yes, it's a little bit unique. They came out with that chalk pink silicone case, so that's like it's kind of like a no-brainer combination. But I don't know, intrigued by the product red. And just for reference, here if you want to see the difference between the Sierra blue and the blue on the iPhone 13, just to get a little bit of a comparison, they're both on the lighter side, but this, obviously this is darker. It hews more towards like a version of the Pacific blue. It's definitely a cool, like, unique blue color, but I mean, when you put it next to the Sierra blue, like, there's just definitely a completely different level of like elegance and sophistication that you're getting in this, and you're obviously paying for it as well. I would love to see like almost similar to like the pink, like a very like light blue color. I think that would look really cool, or just like a deep navy. Like last year they had, I think the case was actually called in the silicone deep navy. Something like that I think would look really nice, like a rich dark blue color kind of skewing towards black. I'm excited to see if they come up with any different colors for the iPhone 13 down the road. They typically try to come up with something a little bit different, so it would be interesting if they throw out some cool greens, maybe some oranges, something a little bit different. But as of right now, like the red iPhone 13 has me very intrigued. It was definitely a surprise for me. That's all I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment below and let me know which iPhone 13 model you're going to be picking up. Also, if you haven't already, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one.